I have been doing business for almost 20 years. I've been in investment. I've tried so many things to make money. And I can tell you with reasonable authority, invest in land. This is a secret that many wealthy people will not tell you. But the reality is that many rich people around the world, not only in Uganda, actually have invested in land. There are several reasons that I can give you why I encourage you to invest in land and why myself I also invest in land. Number one is that land is one of the few commodities in the world that are no longer being manufactured. The size of land remains the same, while the number of users, the population, keeps increasing. So what does that mean? It means there is less and less land that each person can access, which means as long as the sun comes up and goes down in the evening, land prices will always grow. Land will always appreciate. And in Uganda, I've noticed that land appreciates generally around 20% in a year. However, there are some places where it can appreciate more, especially in urban places. Like if you live in places, let's say Gayaza. If you have land in Gayaza, Busukuma, Chiwenda, Busika, those are places where you can buy land at 30 million and next year it's at 40 million or even 50, because it is appreciating very fast because many people are rushing there because of the amenities, because of the roads, because of the development in the area. So that makes land appreciate fast. But in other places, other urban places, it can appreciate by 20%, 30%. Yeah. When you go up country, deep in the villages, like that farming land, it may appreciate less. So when you're buying that one, you may buy it for cultural reasons, for personal reasons, because you need a farm maybe in that area, you need cheap land. But if you're looking at land appreciating and making you money, I would encourage you to buy in an urban area. If it is in a village, at least buy in a trading center. So there, the land will always appreciate. It shields you against inflation. Even when inflation is happening and money is losing value, because your land has appreciated, it means still it has shielded you. The other reason why I encourage you to buy land is that many other forms of investment and businesses can be crushed when the economy goes wrong. The period of COVID taught us that any business can crash. I know people who had capital, big capital, going to Turkey and China and importing products, selling them, and you find someone has capital of like 30, 50 billion. But because of the lockdown and the 2 years of COVID, by the time the economy was totally opened, some of these people were back to zero. Because when you have a business, it only grows when you're having more income than expenses. But when you have a business where you're spending and you're spending more than you are getting, then it is likely to crash. So many businesses died in the time of COVID. However, if you had your land before COVID, you still have it now, even after COVID, because land stays there. Even if a war comes, the war will end and your land will still be there. So when you invest in land, you avoid losing your capital. You avoid eating your seed. Let me give that as another point. In life, everybody needs two forms of where to keep your money. There is where you keep your money in a place where you can access it easily. For example, if you keep it in a bank, you can go there any moment and withdraw it. If you put it in a business, any day you can make sales and remove the money, use it to buy a car, put it in wedding, meetings, fly abroad for a holiday, have a picnic and so on. However, if you put money in land, Land is a fixed asset. It is something that is not easily converted to money. You cannot just wake up and say, I am selling my plot in order to get money to go to hospital. I need 100,000 shillings. No, you will not sell your land. Because land, it holds your money. And because it holds your money, it is helping you save it. So it helps you avoid misusing your money. I have people that I've journeyed with, mentoring them. Somebody tells you, I've been working for 10 years, 20 years, but I've never managed to save. I tell them, you know what? Let me give you a plot of land.